because I guarantee you if you try to sell pens on Amazon, it would be overly competitive and overly saturated. So what other office supplies that are a little bit more niche, a little bit more unique that you could sell and still source for a cheap cost out of the US? What you are gonna see is a really big spike during back to school season. And I absolutely love this kind of category, subcategory niche, for the simple fact that a lot of these items are extremely cheap to source. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to give you a list of 9 product niches that are going to be cheapest to source in the US. And the reason that I am making this video is because, as we all know, and as I've talked about in my last 2 videos, the tariffs have become a big point of discussion amongst Amazon sellers and generally all businesses that import products from overseas. So in this current moment where you may be looking to source domestically in the US, it would be important to know which product categories are going to be the cheapest, where you're going to be able to buy them for a low cost and not be affected by the tariffs. So I thought I'd put together this little list for you guys. If you want to know what products I would recommend you looking at for sourcing in the US, go ahead and keep watching this video. Before you get started, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't, if you are interested in learning how to sell on Amazon or how to utilize e-commerce as a stream of income. And just in case you are somebody who's new to this whole e-commerce thing and you want to learn how to sell on Amazon without making any mistakes, you can join us inside of my step-by-step Amazon FBA program for beginners, where I teach you every single thing you need to know on how to launch a profitable product on Amazon. I've taught over 1,500 people how to do this through my process, and I can teach you as well. If you like me and like my teaching style, then I offer mentorship through that program. So if you'd like to know more, you can go ahead and check out the details down below in the description box. And with that, let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, so I have these in no particular order, but we are going to start off strong with office supplies. I'm talking about pens, paper, notepads, folders. These are all things that are going to be in high demand because people are always using them, whether it's in a work setting, like in an office, a corporate office, or if it's in a school setting. But these are things that are going to be constantly bought and constantly in demand because people are going to buy the item, they're going to use the item, and then they're going to have to dispose of it and get more. So it's always nice when you have a product that people will have to repurchase more and more in the future, because essentially it guarantees return customers who are going to need to replenish whatever it is they've bought from you. So if you are going to be sourcing from a US supplier, the nice part about that is that they will be able to constantly, produce these items and keep up with however much demand you have. Now, I'm not saying that these are all products you should sell on Amazon. It's just to give you an idea of products that you can look at and then kind of think of other things that would be similar enough but are not too competitive. Because I guarantee you if you try to sell pens on Amazon, it would be overly competitive and overly saturated. So what other office supplies that are a little bit more niche, a little bit more unique that you could sell and still source for a cheap cost out of the US? The next niche that I want to talk about are beauty and personal items. So these would be things like nail clippers, tweezers, hair comb, travel sized items for people to bring on a plane with them so that they're TSA compliant. These are things that are going to be very in demand, of course, and things that people will have to replenish once again because they're going to use the item, keep it for however long, but it is likely that they're going to have to, purchase another one in the future, which gives you that benefit of having the return customers once again. Another positive is that these are often small and lightweight, and in the past I've talked about having products that are light because they are being shipped from overseas. Now in this instance, if you're getting it from a US supplier, it's not traveling quite as far, but you will still save money from Amazon with their FBA fees, their fulfillment by Amazon fees, and those are dependent on the size and weight of the product. So if you can get something that's small and lightweight, even though no, you're not going to be shipping from overseas, you are still going to save money on the Amazon side when it comes to your fees, which means that you will be more profitable and make more money. Number 3 on the list are party supplies. So these are things like balloons, streamers, decorations. These are things that are seasonal in a sense, for the simple fact that it's only probably going to happen one time throughout the year that someone is going to need something like this, or maybe multiple times depending on what they do for a living or what their family situation is. They might be repeat customers multiple times in a year, but either way, it has an element of seasonality to it. However, all throughout the year, there are going to be parties that take place for a variety of reasons, whether or not it's a wedding, whether or not it's a birthday party, whether or not it's an engagement party, or whatever the occasion is. This is something that's going to happen on days all throughout the year. So it still, in my mind, would be something considered non-seasonal and safe to source because it's not just party supplies for one specific holiday or one specific day. That only happens during one time of the year. So we're not talking about Christmas party decorations, because that would be seasonal, since Christmas is only during December, at least in the US. And that is only going to be profitable during like 2 months out of the year. But something like a birthday party will happen on different days throughout the year for different people. So that's the difference here. And you can definitely find some cheap products to source that are going to be very, very easy for you to gather from whatever supplier. You can even think about bundling these items together so that you have a better offer, and then put them on Amazon for sale and make a profit. And number 4 on the list are pet supplies and accessories. And these are going to be things like toys, collars, and just different items that you would need to care for a pet. A lot of times these items are lightweight. I don't know necessarily about the size of these items. I personally don't have a pet, but I definitely know that there is constant demand for these pet supplies, because people want to, take good care of their pets, and that is a benefit to you as a seller, because you can then provide one of these items and have that kind of be what you build your brand around. And I've seen a lot of very, very, very successful brands where they only offer like a handful of items. Sometimes people think that you need to have 10 different products in a brand in order to have something be profitable. But the reality is, as long as you have one steady product that you can then build a brand around, you will be perfectly fine. And a lot of people are very profitable with only 3 or 4 products. And those are things that you can add over time as you scale your business. So think about what pet supply you can potentially source as your flagship product, and then from there you can think of what other complementary products you can add onto your brand, and that way people can recognize your brand as being something that is valuable and high quality for their pets. Number 5 on the list are craft supplies, and I absolutely love this kind of category, subcategory, niche, for the simple fact that a lot of these items are extremely cheap to source. So things like thread or paintbrushes or something that is going to help you do some sort of artistic project. A lot of these items are very, very, very cheap. And even if you are going to pay more technically from a US supplier than you would from a Chinese supplier, it's still not going to be something that breaks the bank. And actually, in this instance, I would still potentially look at suppliers from overseas, because this is something that will be cheap and low cost. And even if you have to pay a tariff potentially for a product like this, a lot of times you can still be profitable because you'll be able to get it for such a low cost. Next up on the list, we have kitchen tools and gadgets. So these would be things like silicone spatulas, measuring cups, anything that you would use to bake or to cook something, that would all kind of fall within this category. And I think one of the best things you can do when it specifically comes to this niche is making sure that you bundle your item, because what you're going to find as you're doing your product research, and again, I have tons of product research videos here on my channel, is that you're going to see that these items are going to sell for a low cost, which isn't necessarily the best thing in the world, because we don't want to be selling anything that costs under $10. But a very easy way to increase your cost is by adding more value to your offer. And how can you add more value to your offer? That's when you have a really solid bundle. So you have a couple of different items, or maybe you offer a pack that nobody else has. If everyone is offering a 2-pack, maybe you have a 4-pack along with another differentiator, and that's really how you set yourself apart. And on top of setting yourself apart, you are also adding more value so that the customer feels like it's worth it for them to pay a bit more. So then you get to increase your price and hopefully increase your profitability as well. Number 7 on our list are phone accessories, and I might even throw laptop or computer accessories into this one. So things like phone holders or screen wipes or dust wipes or whatever you would use in order to make sure that, your phone is in good condition. I like this niche only for the fact that these items are super, super, super cheap. And so you're going to be able to offer a very solid bundle to your customers. And on top of that, it's really important to remember that when these items are cheaper, sometimes they can be saturated. So once again, making sure that you're finding ways to differentiate your offer compared to the people who are already selling these items will be key. Number 8 on our list are stationery and school supplies. So this is kind of similar to the idea of the office supplies, but what you are going to see is a really, really big spike during back to school season. So August, September, you're going to see these numbers go up dramatically. So things like pencils, erasers, pouches for keeping your supplies all together. those are all items that would kind of fall underneath this niche, and you are a lot of times going to be able to find suppliers who focus solely on just these items. So they might be, you know, some kind of a liquidation wholesale website that you might be able to find on a place like ThomasNet, which I talked about in my previous video on alternative sources outside of China. So that's a place that you could look to find suppliers who can make these school supplies. And once again, you are going to see that spike kind of closer to the fall season. But those are things that will be in demand throughout the year, because even if, you know, people are buying them more in bulk at that time of the year, people are still going to need to replenish things like that as the year goes on. So it's something to think about and something to definitely plan for, because at the time that this video is going up, it's going to be April, May. So you'll have June, July, and then August is when people will start shopping for these items. So this is actually the perfect time to look at this niche specifically if you would want to kind of catch it right before the demand really kicks up for the fall. And last but not least, number 9 on the list are toys, but not just any toys. I'm talking about specialty toys or kind of novelty toys. These are going to be things like fidget items for, you know, people who need something to do with their hands. I'm talking about card accessories. I'm talking about, you know, just things that are going to be kind of lightweight and almost impulse buys for people. So think about when you're shopping in like a Marshalls or a TJ Maxx or something like that, and you're going towards the cash register, all of those little things that you see that they kind of line up so that you're just grabbing things impulsively. That's the idea. Those are the types of things that I'm thinking about when I say toys, not necessarily Barbie dolls or Hot Wheels, but things that are going to be a little bit more like, oh, this looks kind of cool. This is something that I could potentially sell. So there you have it, my list of 9 product niches that you can look into sourcing directly from the US. And that's all I've got for you guys. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.